Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and we are going to do the sci-fi and fantasy book tag. Yay, because fantasy is my favorite genre, and sci-fi comes in a pretty dang close second. Question 1 is, what's your favorite sci-fi genre? And I'd say just anything that's kind of space travel-y or like takes place on multiple planets kind of thing. I do also like steampunk, but honestly, I feel like steampunk books never turn out that well, or mostly don't. Question 2 is, what is your favorite sci-fi being? And I have to go with aliens, because aliens. I mean, I like a lot of different kinds of aliens. I mean, maybe my favorites are the Andalites from Animorphs because they kind of combine like knowledge and things with being all hardcore and fighting and whatnot. So they're like intellectuals, but they fight. What is your favorite sci-fi gadget? Sonic screwdriver. This is actually a pen. It's not a sonic screwdriver. What sci-fi book had the most breakthrough idea in your opinion? This baby right here, Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. So you've probably heard me talk about this book a lot. It is my favorite non-Lord of the Rings book of all time. I love this book. It's not strictly considered sci-fi. It's kind of considered sci-fi in the same way that like Brave New World or 1984 is sci-fi. Like it still has elements in it that are like futuristic or like stuff that couldn't really be achieved in today's world and whatnot, but it like belongs in the literature section more. What's actually really weird is that Margaret Atwood did get a sci-fi award for this book, and it made a lot of like hardcore sci-fi fans really mad. Question 5 is, what is your favorite fantasy genre? So basically I just really like high fantasy slash epic fantasy, kind of like Lord of the Rings. Question 6 is, what's your favorite magical or fantastical being? I would have to go with dragons because as much as I love unicorns, I do love unicorns. I really do. But it's mostly because I wouldn't love unicorns as much as I do if I didn't write about unicorns. Whereas dragons are really, really weird. What is your favorite fantastical artifact? I have to go with magic sword. What fantasy world do you think is the most well developed and that was most well thought through? So I definitely have to go with the Song of Ice and Fire on this one because Westeros is definitely a well-developed world to the point where we even get an understanding of how, like, why it is that things are the way that they are. This unicorn's falling off my shoulder, goodness. Ah, no, my unicorn. Okay. Question 8 is, which sci-fi and fantasy book do you think combined would make the most amazing of the stories? But I think that Hyperion as the sci-fi book and Ariel as the fantasy book would actually be a pretty good setting. I mean, this is like reality, but like a real world, but apocalypse combined with mythical creatures and whatnot, and magic. So why not like other weird shit added to it? Why not combine the two worlds even? It could work. And finally, the last question, question 10, is, what fantasy book and what sci-fi book are the most underrated ones you have read? The sci-fi book, I'm going with Acorna by Anne McCaffrey because, I mean, she is a pretty well-known author, but like the Dragon Riders of Pern is her more well-known series, and really like the only reason I even found out about this series is because I was telling someone about my book and they were like, oh, you should read Acorna. So basically that's why I read this, and this is so good. It really is very underhyped, very underrated for how good it is. It's actually kind of sci-fantasy in a way, but it's definitely more towards sci-fi than fantasy, I think. What? My unicorns keep. Oh no, my unicorn! Stay there, unicorns. Come on. For the fantasy book, I'm desperately trying to keep these unicorns up here. So for the fantasy book, I'd have to go with The Black Swan by Mercedes Lackey, because honestly, I feel like Mercedes Lackey is a little bit underrated. Like, she's really, really good. And really, I think most of what she's known for is like the Heralds of Valdemar stuff, which I couldn't really get into, but I just love a lot of her other books that are a lot more obscure. And this book I feel is so obscure that like a lot of bookstores don't even have it. Like, I actually looked around for, like, I had been wanting to read this for a while, and I never saw it in a store or anything until like I got this copy. um and I was actually surprised because it was a really small used bookstore, like not even a big used bookstore or anything, that actually had this book. And I was like, holy crap, I've been wanting to read that for forever. But anyway, this is like a really good book. It's a really good fairy tale retelling as well. Like, Mercedes Lackey does those so well. Like, Mercedes Lackey, just overall, a lot of her books are really underrated and they're really, really good. So let's see. So I'm going to tag anyone who wants to do this. I don't know who's done this tag before and who hasn't. Let's see. If Mel from Books with Wings hasn't done this tag, she should do it. I'm also going to tag Jane from It's Jane Lindsay. I got this tag from Little Word Weaver, and I'm going to leave her video down below. And I forget who created this, but I will find that video and link that down below as well. If you haven't tagged, and if you haven't done this tag yet, then this unicorn is going to tag you. These adorable little unicorns. They are so awesome. Maybe I should change my answer from dragons to unicorns. I don't know which one I like better because they're so different from each other and everything. Anyway, you should totally leave me a comment and tell me about what your favorite sci-fi book and what your favorite fantasy book is down in the comments, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye! Unicorn says bye. Bye.